Greetings and welcome to the addendum video for Alpha of Fun with Dashcams 4. This is various footage, an example of a forward-facing dash cam that's recording in 1080p and other resolutions to show you what a dash cam that's in the upper price range can do. I will have another video of an example of a very cheap, and I mean extremely cheap, forward-facing dash cam to show you what you can expect from the other end of the spectrum, and somewhere in the middle is going to be your typically priced dash cams, forward-facing. So looking at this first clip, this is from the Garmin Dash Cam 20, recorded in 1080p, and this is about an hour and a half before nightfall here where we're at. This is winter conditions, so as you can see, overcast sky. And it's actually rendering pretty good considering the level of light we have. If you remember from our example in the video series for the taxi cams, the cheaper SG series cameras between $50 and $60 thereabouts, you recall that the light gathering capability of those cameras is not real good. So what you're seeing here is what you is the kind of level you should expect from a $150 to $200 camera. Again, this is not a night vision camera, but it is doing a very efficient job at gathering the light that does exist. I will go ahead and comment, I've muted all audio. The audio is actually pretty good for this camera. It gives this particular model, and should be of similar quality for other models in that price range, 150 and up, forward-facing. You should expect slightly reduced performance. As you can see, we're seeing 1080 at 30 frames per second, fully rendered, and doing a real nice job. Now we're going to switch over to a example of sitting in a parking lot. It's now nighttime. This is about an hour after nightfall. So we're in a very well lit, but not terribly well lit parking lot. And we're now showing 720p, and you'll see that just as we had a fairly good light condition, or not very good light conditions, but fairly good performance about an hour before dusk or so, in dusk, about an hour before nightfall, you can also see that at 720 this camera is still doing a really good job. You'll notice that it's not skipping, it's not pausing. That's what you will find in your, say, $80 to $120, $130 range cameras. You might get better performance at nighttime, but typically, because black is the single hardest color to give a true color for any camera to try to capture and render, same with TV screens, it also it's very computationally intensive. Solid white, solid black. So at nighttime, a lot of black, and if the camera has a poor CMOS, a poor CCD that cannot gather light real well, it's going to spend a large portion of its CPU process trying to render that darkness, and so you usually see skips. But as you can see from this, from a very good quality, higher priced camera, it's not really doing that. It's actually very fluid. It's keeping up with the frames, and it's a very good quality considering the lighting conditions. Can we read license plates? Can we read signs as if it were bright sunlight? No. Now, also to note, this is not a WDR enabled camera, so that we're getting this kind of performance out of a camera that's really about a one-year-old design as of the date of this recording, and not WDR enabled, and I don't have additional lighting. It's actually doing pretty darn good. So I'm going to now look at a sample of a recording in its lower mode. We're now sitting in a parking lot and we're driving away, and this is actually in that weird 848 by 480, the W VGA. So it's kind of interesting that this camera had this. It's not a normal 640 by 480. It's because they wanted to keep that 16 by 9 ratio or thereabouts. But you still notice that you're getting pretty good quality. You still have the ability to read some license plates given the lighting conditions. So again, this is an example of a not perfectly high-end, but a higher-end camera, forward-facing, and really what you're looking for. This is the whole point of having a forward-facing camera, to capture what's going on in front. We have a very nice view angle. We, despite the fact of our lighting conditions, we're still doing very good. And again, I must stress, nighttime is the single biggest downfall of any dash cam you're going to get. A cheaper camera is not going to be able to handle darkness well. So that's where you're going to have to if you want more, you got to spend more. And you're noticing that we're adjusting very well to headlights shining directly into the camera. So I just wanted to throw that at you and let you mull over what you're seeing, and use this as kind of a guide for considering, worst case scenarios of a camera. Where it really needs to count is where you're really going to spend the money. So if your goal is to just get an image and you're not too concerned about overall quality, you can go on the lower end, but be mindful that you will sacrifice quality for computation. If you want the better quality, a wider range of lighting conditions that a camera can support, you're going to spend more money. Also wanted to note that this is a practical example of this particular Garmin, the DC20, Dash Cam 20, that in all situations it is recording at the lower pane of the image the time date stamp, GPS, and the speed indicator. So that may come into play, especially in a nighttime situation. You may want that feature. Of course, it's going to be harder to find that in an overlay with the GPS, especially in any dash cam, but particularly in dash cams of a medium range or a lower range quality, if you can find it at all, because you don't have any real reference points. So having that GPS after the fact is very beneficial to be able to construct your drive path. Also, as I alluded to in the Part 4 video, is that in a lot of the GPS cameras, especially the higher end cameras, depending on the chipset, they a lot of times will encode the GPS data. For this particular camera, you did in fact see where our GPS data was recorded in the video stream. Not only is it being displayed, not only is our speed being computed and displayed, but our time date stamp is there. Our GPS data is recorded as metadata within the video stream. And like I said, as you saw with Part 2 videos, and you'll see again here, the G-sensor data is also encoded. So we can take this raw video file, dump it back into the player as you saw in the Part 4 video example, and we'll be able to recover basic G-sensor data and the GPS data. I hope this helps you in your decisions for purchasing a dash cam, whatever your ultimate end game is for this dash cam. I hope you have a good night.